Hello, this is Dr. Victoria Skirbo speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center in Wareham, Massachusetts. I'd like to speak to you today about the astrology of Saturday, April 8th. So today the moon is in Virgo, and when the moon's in Virgo, we're quite diligent. We're willing to take on tasks, get them accomplished. We have a real sense of accomplishment. The Virgo moon is a little bit of a small moon in that we deal with small issues and details. And in contrast to that are the other aspects and the other energies going on today, namely a square between the Sun and Pluto. The Sun is very willful, Pluto is very powerful, and we have a crisis in action here, and so we might see the powerful taking actions. And yet, there's a part of us that are questioning those actions or questioning how they go about things. And we may feel a little powerless to change that. And yet, we have to remember that, we have the power together. And if we want to make change, we need to take the steps. And we have the moon in Virgo. And so there is a need to keep that in mind and act locally, right? Act locally, think globally kind of idea with this energy. And the other thing that's going on is a square between Venus and Saturn. Now, squares between Venus and Saturn are never any fun. Venus is the planet of love and pleasure and what's important to us. And Saturn is a restricting energy. Add to that Venus is now with an orb of a conjunction to Chiron. Venus retrograded back into Pisces and has been close to Chiron since. And it won't exactly conjunct, but it's with an orb, and so the influence is there. And because Venus is going to change direction this next weekend, this square is in... this Saturn-Venus square is sort of influencing us for at least the next week and longer, actually. And we have Chiron in there. Now, Chiron is the wound in Pisces of abandonment from God. And so there is this sense of feeling abandoned. So all our abandonment issues come up. And they get reflected in the outside world as we see, groups of people being abandoned by their country, being abandoned by the world, and seeing them being victimized and having that expressed in our own lives. And so it's a very difficult time, especially for those people who are sensitive or empathic. It would be easy to close your eyes to the suffering of the world because it becomes too overwhelming. And if that is the case, it's not about closing our eyes to the suffering, but moving away from it so that you can get a better perspective or even just take a break from it. And so it's important that we pace ourselves with all of this and remember that this is a new paradigm. We cannot affect the problems of the world in the old ways. Now, of course, those empowered have no idea about that. They're going to keep trying to do things the same way. But we have to remember, those of us who know, which is a growing group of individuals, that peace and support and love is really the only way forward. It's the only way we're going to help those who are suffering. It's the only way we're going to help ourselves who are suffering. Just because you're not in a war zone doesn't mean that you're not suffering, and you need to recognize that and appreciate that. So we can do this. We're in a new paradigm. We must take the actions, as small as they may be, to reimagine our world and build it. So tough stuff, really. And so I wish you all peace and love. For those who are in areas where there is great danger, know that we are there, that we pray for you, that we send you love and send you energy. And we will get through this, and we can build peace a peaceable world. Have yourself a great day, and keep on keeping on.